just for one minute, just really quick, getting away from any of the political kind of parallels and implications, as we usually do. What did you guys think of the movie, just in terms of as a movie? The Great Dictator. What did you guys think?
Solid film. I've never seen it before, and I've never seen anything by Chaplin before, so this was my first dive into his filmography. And for a film that came out 80 years ago, I think a lot of the comedy is slapstick, but
it holds up surprisingly well.
Yes, it holds up surprisingly well. And even the comedy that isn't slapstick can be like rather clever. Like it can be silly, but silly in a kind of smart way, as pretentious as that may sound. I don't know. But it's a solid film. It's engaging. And I mean, it's, as far as I know, like this is like one of the most, like, I think, famous satire films ever made. I'd never seen it before, but I still already knew the closing monologue scene that he gives. But I think even better than the monologue he gives at the end of the film is the one he gives when we first see his dictator character, like talking in his like gibberish German. And he's like screaming into the mic, and it's like bending backwards.
It's funny to listen to what he's actually saying too, because if you listen to the words, he says things like cheese and crackers and like other little. It's just one of those kind of clever, kind of fun gags in the movie.
Yeah, it's like it's nonsense, but it's nonsense that kind of works in the context.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I feel like it's a film with a lot of great moments and a lot of great ideas. And it's the kind of comedy that it's funny when you're watching it, and then when you think about it, it occurs to you that it's a great idea that they came up with to kind of pull off the joke. That said, and I recognize I'm kind of acclimatized to the faster pace of more modern films. Occasionally, I felt like the film halted the pace of its story in order to kind of amount a mild joke that would last like 10 minutes. So it is a little bit, there's kind of a patience element to it, I think, but like it's at its best, it's really worth the payoff. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it's a 2-hour-long film, and it didn't necessarily need to be 2 hours long, but you're fortunately, like, you're not too bored for most of it. Like, it's like if you don't like one gag, then like don't worry, it'll end. Another one will come along.
But yeah, I think this is the oldest movie we've talked about on the podcast thus far. And I actually think it holds up better than some of the other older. I mean, the other stuff we watch is Plan 9 from out of 6. I don't know if that's a very fair comparison.
Gonna say it right now: the Great Dictator, better than Battlefield Earth. Controversial opinion, I know, but
overall, I think that we agree that this is, it's a pretty good movie. There's some, it's it's over 80 years old, so it is going to show its age. So comparing it to modern films, there's going to be certain elements where it's lacking. I actually would probably, if I was trying to be really critical of this film, I think pacing would be my biggest complaint too. But given its historical significance and the fact that it holds up so well despite that, definitely big props to this movie.
Yeah, and even like when things are different, perhaps maybe even for the worse, like say in terms of pacing and the film length, it's still just, in my personal opinion, interesting to just watch an older film and just see like how how it was different back in the day. It's like, oh, all right.
There are moments in this movie where you can tell that like because this is Charlie Chaplin's first talkie. So there's moments where you can tell he kind of reverted back to the silent film,
The tramp character, yeah,
right?
kind
Like
of
the haircut or the shaving scene.
Yeah, the scene where he just shaves a man to the entirety of Hungarian Dance number 5.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, like all like 2.5 minutes, and it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. But
I love
not.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.